The year was 732. Europe trembled. From the deserts of Arabia to the hills of Spain, the banners of Islam had conquered half the known world, and now their armies were marching north, toward the heart of Europe, toward a small kingdom led by a man history barely remembers, Charles, the mayor of the palace. The world would soon call him Charles Martel the Hammer. This is the story of the battle that decided the fate of a continent, the clash that saved Christianity and changed Europe forever. Welcome to Obscura Vault, Part 1, The Rising Storm. It began a century earlier. After the death of Prophet Muhammad, Islamic empires expanded with breathtaking speed across the Middle East, North Africa, and into the Iberian Peninsula. By 711, Muslim armies had crossed into Spain. In just a few years, the Visigothic kingdom collapsed. What followed was the creation of Al-Andalus, a glittering Muslim civilization of learning, trade, and science. But for the Umayyad Caliphate, Spain wasn't the end. It was just the gateway. Their next step, the rich lands of Gaul, modern-day France. And standing in their way, a fragmented patchwork of Christian tribes and kingdoms. Europe wasn't ready for another war. But one man was. Part 2, The Hammer Rises. Charles Martel wasn't a king. He was a power broker, the man behind the throne of the Frankish realms. Ruthless, strategic, patient. While others fought for crowns, Charles built something stronger, an army loyal to him alone. He drilled his soldiers in discipline and formation. Not noble knights, but hardened infantrymen who could hold their ground against cavalry charges. And when word came that a massive Umayyad force had crossed the Pyrenees, Charles didn't hesitate. He gathered his men, he prayed, and he prepared to stand in the path of history. Part 3, The Battle of Tours. It was autumn 732, near the city of Tours in central France. Abdul Rahman al-Ghafiqi led the Muslim army veterans of countless campaigns, fast, organized, and confident. Charles's army was smaller, slower, but he held the high ground. For 7 days, they watched each other testing, waiting. Then came the charge. Wave after wave of cavalry smashed into the Frankish lines. But the infantry held, their shields locked, their formation unbroken. When Abdul Rahman was struck down in the chaos, the invaders began to fall back, not in defeat, but in confusion. By morning, the battlefield was silent. The invaders were gone. Part 4, Aftermath and Legacy. The Franks called it a miracle. The Muslim chroniclers a setback, not a disaster. But history saw something else entirely. A line in the sand. The expansion of Islam into Western Europe stopped that day. Had Charles Martel fallen, the map of Europe and the faiths that shaped it might look very different today. Centuries later, his grandson would be crowned Charlemagne, the first Holy Roman Emperor. The legacy of the hammer echoed through every church bell that rang across Europe. Part 5, Reflection. The Battle of Tours wasn't just a clash of armies. It was a collision of worlds of faiths, empires, and destinies. History often remembers kings and conquerors, but sometimes it's the man who holds the line that changes everything. In 732, on a cold battlefield in France, Charles Martel did exactly that. He didn't just save a kingdom, he saved an idea, and in doing so, shaped a civilization. This is Obscura Vault, where history's quiet moments echo the loudest.